Hello world, my name is Tim Ruswick, and today I want to talk about signposting and why it's important and what it is. So if you don't know, signposting is basically the idea that you want to showcase what the game has for the player to play. Now, this seems like simple, like obviously, like you want to play the game, you got to show them what's in the game. But I mean this in terms of like progression systems. I mean this in terms of mechanics. I mean this in terms of abilities. Signposting applies to a lot of different fields, and it's really important when you're looking at a user experience of a game to understand, like, okay, what would a new user think? Okay, are they aware of the possibility space of this game? Are they aware of the amount of abilities? Are they aware of the amount of content in the game? Because if they're not, what can happen is people can quit prematurely. People could just be not interested. People can think that they have experienced everything that they have in the game. And I want to show you an example from my game, Phalophobia, with a decision that was kind of controversial, but it actually ended up making a lot of sense. So this is a precision platform. It's called Phalophobia: The Fear of Love. If you don't know, it's basically, you know, the run and jump kind of Super Meat Boy type of deal. One of the things we added in the Steam version was this level select menu. Okay, so you hit escape and you go to level select. Now, if you notice, this goes to realm select. So the level I was just on is actually in the anger section, and it was right here. It was called Gnashing Teeth. Now, originally I added the feature to where when you would be in this level and you would go to level select, it would automatically take you to, it would take you right here, and it would have that level selected. And this was requested by several like speedrunners and people that played the game quite often. And granted, it is a good kind of usability thing, right? Like if you're going to play the same level over and over again, especially for speedrunners, it saves a lot of time. But one of the things I noticed was when people were doing this, they would miss the realms. They would miss that there were 5 realms. So I had several people on the that would give me video feedback, and they would go to play a level, for example, and then they would go to level select. And since level select brought them specifically in here, they'd be like, oh, well, I'm almost done with the game. Okay, cool. Right? They would think that this was the whole game. I don't know how, because it doesn't seem like a lot of content to me, but they would think that it was the whole game. And so people would judge their progress literally based on this screen. And I started noticing the same thing happens when you go to the menu and people would hit continue. Originally in the original version of the game, continue button actually took you to whatever level you were at. So it would automatically, like, this is the latest level I have unlocked for the anger section in this save file. It would automatically go here. It would just take me to wherever I was. But the same thing happened is, like, people were like, okay, well, they would be like, well, how deep am I in the game? I don't know. I don't know where I'm at as opposed to like where I should be. I don't know like how much more game there is. I don't know any of this stuff. So by changing the continue button to just take you to the realm select, not only does it show you where you're at in relation to the entire game, right? Because you can see all 5 realms. It also shows you a percentage, which constantly kind of reminds you like, hey, there's more to do here, even though you finished the levels. You've got things to unlock. You've got like lost souls. You've got all these different things. But also, when you do figure out, okay, I'm here, now you have this sense of like where you are in the game. And I posted a video about that specifically, but what I'm trying to get at this time is the signposting aspect of it and letting people know, hey, this content exists. Hey, it's here. And letting them know specifically like what's available and what's there. And this is something that like the original game did not do well. It did Phalophobia. It did not do well at all. And I think it could have benefited from stuff like this because there was a lot of confusion, right? Like it just did not show where you were in the game well. It didn't do that well at all. And so like it's one of those things that's important not just for levels but for abilities. For if you notice, like roguelikes are hot right now, right? If you see a lot of the roguelites or the card games that people play, usually when you start the game, the first core experience is like, okay, you play the game, but then immediately you're taken back to an upgrade screen that shows you like where you're at. And if you notice in some games how they have like the unlocks, but then some of the unlocks are grayed out, that's what that is. That's calling attention to the fact that there's more to unlock rather than the fact, like, you could just as easily have unlocks that weren't grayed out, right? It's actually more work to gray them out than it would be to just not show them. But it's important in the context of signposting to let people know, hey, there's more stuff here. There's more to do. And that has kind of an effect on player motivation. It's got an effect on player psychology of like playing the game. And it's got an effect on like helping a player understand where they fit in the grand scheme of the systems. So it's super, super important. That being said, these people are also super, super important. They help me keep doing what I'm doing. So if you want your name on this list and you want some other cool stuff that helps you build, finish, and launch better games, get over at patreon.com/GameDevUnderground. There's a lot of cool stuff there. But I want to say thank you for watching. I appreciate you consuming my content. And if there's any other requests or videos that you guys want to see about like some of the things that I've learned about my games and stuff like that, feel free to drop them in the comments and let me know. My name is Tim Roswick, and I'll see you tomorrow.